You know Advent and Christmas and Lent and All Saints' Day, Easter and Sundays and fast days and feast days. But do you recall how we got a church year at all? Well, let me tell you, the church is over 2,000 years old, and things change a lot in that amount of time. And so let's look at how did the church year evolve. At first, there was only one thing on the church year calendar, if you could even call it a calendar, and that was Sunday, along with one whopping Sunday called Easter. And so for a long time, we had only 52 feasts on the calendar, and they were all Sundays. But persecution began, and on the anniversary of a martyr's death, the family and friends wanted to remember and have a Mass. And so for the first time, we could have Mass on a weekday. So, for example, if someone was martyred on a Monday, then the next year it would be on a Tuesday. And so now the church year had 52 Sundays and a few martyred saint days. Well, as time went on, we added a little bit to the whopping Sunday called Easter. And we added what we now call the sacred 3 days, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday. Well, Easter was so important that they added 7 weeks to it. So now we have a 50-day season called the Easter season, which ends with Pentecost. It took a little time to get what we call Lent. People had to prepare for baptism, and so they had a few weeks of preparation. Eventually, we have what we have today, the 40 days of Lent. Believe it or not, Christmas never got on the calendar for about 7 centuries. But when it did, people said, well, Easter's important, and they've got Lent, and so why don't we have something for Christmas? And so then they added Advent to that. So things have just evolved, and even a few weeks ago, Pope Francis added 5 new saints to the calendar. One of them was John Henry Cardinal Newman. And so now we have another saint on October 9th. Well, I'm sure the church year will continue to evolve, and maybe someday you'll be a saint on that calendar.